Fans, they should rejoice with elation today. Caleb Williams, #1 overall pick, generational talent, officially signed his 4-year, $39 million deal, fully guaranteed. Now, the Bears also signed Romeo Odunze earlier today. Chicago, they got to turn things around, y'all. They have been bad for a mighty long time. Maybe the most important conversation of the day is about a team that's looking for its first playoff win since 2010. Dave, you cover college like you cover pro, so honored to have this conversation with you because you know the college landscape, the professional landscape, and this conversation, it beautifully merges the two.
You play the new game yet?
Nah, how is it?
Good.
It's good? Who's your team of choice, LSU?
Obviously. Come on.
But they ain't got neighbors anymore. They don't have a league. They don't have Daniels.
We got the new stars coming. Don't worry about it. Kyron Lacey.
Okay.
You San Jose State next
Dave, let me ask you, man, because no player has come into the NFL with more hype than Caleb since I would suggest Andrew Luck. You could argue Trevor Lawrence, but it was a little bit different because of, what Caleb has done with his legs as well. What are your expectations for Caleb this season?
Y'all want me to say something wild. Like, y'all want me to put the world on this guy, and I'm just not willing to do it. I mean, I expect Caleb to come in, and especially kudos to the Chicago Bears for having a long-term plan, because we've said it 100 times, but it bears repeating. Caleb Williams is stepping into an uncommon situation for a #1 overall pick.
Which is what?
He's surrounded by talent.
Man,
he's on a loaded offense.
A lot of it.
I mean, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, the new guy, Rome Odunze, I think people are forgetting about DeAndre Swift in the backfield. A lot of talent on this offense. So you do have to raise the expectations, but guys, it's been so bad in Chicago for so long. I'm not about to. And what else do we talk about? The NFC North, other than the AFC North, might be the toughest division in football. You got the Lions coming back. We all feel really great about James's Packers.
You already know it.
We'll see what the Vikings do with their quarterback situation, but you can't deny they have a nice roster. I mean, this is a deep division, so I'm not going to get up here on TV and think that the Chicago Bears are going to win their division in Caleb's first year. But I'll tell you this, because of the hype and because of the talent, we're talking 3,000 passing yards, 3,500 passing yards minimum. We're talking 20, 25 touchdowns minimum. And I do think if Caleb hits his stride and does what he's capable of, I think the Bears should have their best record in the last 6 years. The beauty of that prediction is just that that's not that high of a bar to clear.
I guess the more important question for me, and James, we'll get to you momentarily, why can't we expect for Caleb what C.J. Stroud, a significantly lesser talent out of college, not currently, out of college, why can't we expect for Caleb what Stroud did? Stroud had a depleted roster offensively, had a first-time head coach, a defensive head coach, a first-time offensive coordinator, and Stroud had a phenomenal season. Can we have the same expectations?
I mean, you can if you want to. And I'd love to get James' perspective on this because he played. But I think, and what CJ did was incredible. And I don't think, for as many fans as he has now, a lot of people didn't see it coming that quickly.
Of course.
I mean, he didn't go #1 overall in the draft. I do think, as fun as it was and as impressive as it was, it, to me, cheapens how good C.J. Stroud was to just turn around. And it cheapens how hard the NFL is to turn around and just be like, every guy that gets drafted that high should just be that good from now on. Like, that should be the norm. Because that's not the norm. Trevor struggled. Wait, the #1 pick in last year's draft, Bryce Young. I mean, enough people liked him more that he went #1 overall. Struggled mightily. This is a hard league. I looked this up. Andrew Luck did take the Colts to the playoffs in his first year. 23 touchdowns to 18 picks. Peyton Manning struggled his butt off when he was in Indianapolis way back in the late 90s. This is a hard league, and I just think it's not fair to expect what C.J. Stroud did every single year, because it wouldn't have been as remarkable if it was the norm.
After the break, James Jones, like Dave said, you did play at the highest level, and you played at a high level at the highest level. So you answer that question for Debo and George Kittle. But Brandon Ayuk's game, it's been just as large. He's Brock Purdy's top target. However, today, Ayuk asked for a trade, and reportedly, the Niners have no interest in trading the All-Pro just last season. James, you are the resident wide receiver on the desk. Niners fans, should they be concerned? Cove, let me get the clock. Niners fans, should they be concerned?
They should definitely be concerned because this is a piece to you winning a Super Bowl and getting back to a Super Bowl. If Brandon Ayuk is not there, the Niners are not back there. And I'm telling you that now. It's too many big-time plays that Brandon Ayuk made, and you might not even be looking at him like they big time. Oh, he just 5 yards down the field. What? Those are big-time plays that he's converting into first downs. He is really the security blanket to Brock Purdy, a guy that you are still evaluating to get
James,
his
I
money.
need you to teach me something.
Talk
Because
to
if you
me.
teach me, you will also teach the viewers. You said it kind of flippantly. Those aren't really big-time plays. What plays are we as fans looking at that we might not have realized just how difficult those were to make and maybe only 5 to 10 receivers in the NFL could have made? What plays are you referencing? I believe we may have.
Yeah, well, one of the plays is Brandon Ayuk is coming on a shallow cross. The ball is thrown on his back knee, and he has to reach back to catch this ball. As you can see, it is at 3 or 3rd and 5 right here, and he has to, at 3rd and 9, and he has to reach back off of his back knee and make this play. I'm telling you, this is a very tough catch. All hands, scoop it off the grass, turn the ball up the field, and get a first down.
How many receivers in the NFL do you believe right now could have made that catch in that moment?
To be honest with you, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase. And that's where I stop. I don't know if Tyreek Hill is going down there and getting that. Tyreek Hill is not a true hands catcher.
CD, Amon-Ra?
CD, I would say CD. CD has really good hands. Maybe Amon-Ra. A lot of the guys that he's trying to get the money like.
I was going to say the 10 guys that are in that tax
maybe
bracket.
Amon-Ra, but that is a very tough catch. That is money down, as you know.
Can you talk to me about that 3rd and 5? Because to me, Deebo Samuels was on the sideline. You're down against the Packers, 21-17. It's 3rd and 5 with about 3 minutes, 42 seconds left. How difficult is this in this moment?
See, so this is what I'm talking about right here. Everybody else on the screen, and you can't see right now, is D'd up. Brock Purdy knew exactly where he was going with this rock before he even hiked it, because it's one thing he does know. If it's man-to-man coverage, 99.9% out of the time, Brandon Ayuk is going to win. This is another 3rd down and 5. Gotta have it. You down 4. Are we punting this football? And Brandon Ayuk wins off the line of scrimmage. Tough catch. I'm telling you. I understand everybody excited about the rookie. He's not just coming into the game doing this, and Brock Purdy is trusting him. And we already talked about Deebo. Deebo is 50-50 when it comes to health because he plays the game so violent. That's just what comes with it. Brandon Ayuk made way too many big-time plays for this offense, and you just seen 2 of them, and it was many more. If he is not there, the Niners do not have a chance to even compete with Patrick Mahomes to winning a Super Bowl.
Everything James just said is true. But the 49ers have been too good for too long for their fan base to be worried about this right now. What is it? I got my phone here. It's July 16th. Come on. I mean, like I said earlier, Deebo has done this. Nick Bosa, it was a hold in. He was at camp, but Nick Bosa had a contract dispute that took a while to get sorted out. This is a team that's been playing musical chairs with its quarterbacks for the last 3 years between Trey Lance. Remember the saga with Jimmy G where he had his own practice field because they didn't know what they were going to do with him? How about Brock Purdy? It feels like it never happened that Brock Purdy was dealing with an injury where we didn't know how much time he was going to miss, wound up being incredible all last year. My point is only Niners fans have to be used to the anxiety of these types of situations. It's July 16th. Yeah. Brandon Ayuk has a long time to come to an agreement with the 49ers. Or don't hate me. I want receivers to get paid, James, but I do feel like the 49ers have the leverage in this situation. And if push comes to shove, Brandon Ayuk will play this year for San Francisco.
Let me push back on you a little bit.
I'm very confident of that.
Let me push back a little bit on you because a couple days ago, you said the Super Bowl window for the San Francisco 49ers right now is closing. We said it's wide open. You said it is closing.
They got to do it.
With this dude on the roster, you said it was closing. So now with this dude off the roster, you are sitting here saying the Niner fans shouldn't be worried, and you already said the Super Bowl windows is closing?
He's not going to be off the roster. And that's, like I said,
how are you so convinced?
What leverage does Brandon Ayuk truly have other than what he's doing right now, which credit to him for trying it. But if the Niners decide that they want to play this thing rough and take the gloves off, what leverage does he really have? Brandon Ayuk is on the 5th-year option. He was a first-round pick, so he's on the 5th and final year of his deal. It's worth $14 million. Basic math, I'm not sure how much he's getting taxed up there in the Bay. I'm sure it's a lot. But he's making $250,000 every week.
Yeah.
A true holdout where he's not coming to play means he's passing up on $250,000 every week.
Now,
you think
Dave,
he's going to do that?
let's update our mindsets. Hold in. We've seen it happen time and time again. Jalen Ramsey, he held in. Earl Thomas, remember back in that day, he held in. Deshaun Watson, prior to everything that happened off the field, he held in. As it pertains to getting money, worked out for Jalen Ramsey, became the highest